Good evening, and welcome to the Redstone Report. Here's your quick breakdown of the biggest stories from around the world this week, told in Minecraft. We hope you enjoy our first weekly news segment together. Let's get straight into it. We begin tonight with the biggest story of the week, a rapidly escalating situation involving the United States and Iran and the global impact it's now having. Earlier this week, tensions reached a critical point as the conflict centered around one of the most important locations in the world, the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow stretch of water is responsible for transporting around 20% of the world's oil supply. And when it was effectively shut down, the consequences were immediate. Oil prices surged past $100 per barrel, with some spikes going even higher, marking one of the biggest energy shocks in modern history. The United States responded with military pressure, demanding the route be reopened, while Iran pushed back, warning of further escalation. At one point, global markets dropped, oil skyrocketed, and fears grew that this could turn into a much larger war. By midweek, a temporary ceasefire was announced, causing oil prices to briefly fall below $100 again. But the situation remains extremely unstable. Even now, military activity continues in the region, and the route is still not fully secure, meaning the global oil supply remains under threat. And that's where the impact starts to hit much closer to home. And in Ireland, that has triggered one of the most significant nationwide protests in recent years. Over the past week, farmers, truck drivers, and workers across the country have taken to the roads, blocking major motorways, fuel depots, and even Ireland's only oil refinery. At the peak of the disruption, more than a third of petrol stations across the country ran out of fuel, with some estimates suggesting the situation could get even worse. In Dublin and across the country, roads were brought to a standstill, with tractors and trucks forming blockades in protest of rising costs. The protests have now entered multiple days, with emergency services warning that fuel shortages are becoming a serious risk. Police have been deployed to clear key sites, including the Whitegate refinery, where blockades had stopped fuel from being distributed nationwide. And the situation is escalating, with the Irish government warning of a dangerous economic moment as supply chains begin to break down. Now, moving away from Earth for a moment, this week also marked a major milestone in space exploration. NASA's Artemis II mission reached a critical stage as the crew completed a historic return journey from around the moon, the first time humans have traveled this far in over 50 years. The mission is seen as a key step toward putting humans back on the moon and eventually sending astronauts to Mars. And finally, in political news this week, Melania Trump has made a rare public statement addressing her connection to Jeffrey Epstein, bringing renewed attention to a story that continues to raise questions years later. Now, turning to sports, it's been a historic week for golf, as Rory McIlroy secured victory at the Masters, one of the biggest tournaments in the world. McIlroy reclaimed the title, cementing his place in history, winning it back-to-back. The last person to do so was Tiger Woods, winning it in 2001 and 2002, and from a global sporting stage to controversy in the music world. Kanye West has once again made headlines this week, this time after being reportedly banned from entering England. The move comes following ongoing controversies and public statements, which have led to increased scrutiny from officials. The situation has also had a direct impact on this year's Wireless Festival in London. Organisers are now facing pressure and uncertainty over potential lineups and appearances, with concerns about how the situation could affect the event. That's all from us here at the Redstone Report. These are the stories shaping the world right now. Thank you for watching. And if you want to stay updated with real-world news, rebuilt in Minecraft, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time.